morning, everyone. Welcome. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, but also 1 Million Cups Day. Woo! We want to welcome everybody out. It's so great to be back. We were gone last week, and nice to be home and nice to be back in front of this wonderful crowd. So we have a special guest and speaker this morning, a gentleman who just recently launched a company, and he needs our help. So put your thinking caps on and think about some ways that we can help this new entrepreneur to be successful. We also have a coffee sponsor this morning, Mr. Robert. But before we get to all that, let's talk a little bit about what we do and why we come here every week. Everybody, if you're new in the audience, if you don't know who 1 Million Cups is, it is a nationwide program that was launched by the Kaufman Foundation out of Kansas City. And the whole idea was really to build a community to help entrepreneurs to thrive and grow their businesses. 1 million cups of coffee, 1 million ideas, 1 million new businesses is where we go. Even more than 1 million, actually. And the whole idea is for them to get together, exchange ideas, exchange best practices, and support one another, because we know how difficult it is to run a small business. It's an all day, every day. It's even more difficult than raising a family. And it's like a child. It needs a lot of attention. And also, it's really designed to be inclusive and diverse, because that's the society that we live in, and we want to make sure that our businesses reflect the people that we serve. 110 communities all across the country and growing. The intent is to make sure that every community that needs this support gets this support, and that is a promise, and that is part of the strategic vision of the Kaufman Foundation to make sure that that does happen. We want to thank Incubizo, who is one of our sponsors. We also want to thank Open Thrive, for which I am one of the consultants of Open Thrive, for their support of this program and making sure that it happens every week so that you guys have a place to come and get off the streets. If you are a past presenter, raise your hand, please. There's a past presenter. I know there's a past presenter. There's one. If you are thinking, if you're a small business owner and you're thinking of presenting, talk to the folks that raised their hand. I'll tell you how easy it is, how much support they get, and how much support they've gotten after they've presented. Once you become a member of the 1 Million Cups family, you stay a member of the family. First timers, if you are a first timer, please raise your hand. There's one there. There's one there. Keep your hands up because we have a gift. So the lifeblood of this event every week is the coffee. That is the reason. Well, that's not really the reason we come, but that's one of the reasons we come, because we need that fuel. If you'd like to be a coffee sponsor, that is the only person who gets to pitch. They get to come and talk about their business, like our friend Robert's going to do here in a couple of minutes. If you'd like to be a coffee sponsor, this is about what it takes to be a coffee sponsor. It's a small investment for your business, and you get to make lots of new friends, and you get to meet a lot of new people, and you get to make sure that everybody's all hyped up on caffeine. But it's more than just coffee. It's more than it's tea, and we want to make sure that you have something for everyone. So we want to thank Green Info Urban Style is our coffee sponsor this morning. So please give him a hand. And talk to either Carmen or Christina. Christina, raise your hand. If you'd like to be a coffee sponsor, she's the one who chases people down to make sure that they're here every week. And don't forget, please post on social media. Please don't forget about us, because one of the ways that we get people to come here every week is through our social media posts. Hashtag 1 Million Cups Detroit, or 1 Million Cups DetroitMetro. Hashtag 1 Million Cups. Hashtag Incubizo. Don't forget about our sponsors. So please remember us on social media. Thank you so much. We do post on social media. One of the advantages is that we post to people who show up every week, because we want them to get some love too. So if you're following our social media, you'll see that a few days prior to the presenters, we post that they're going to be here, because we want people to come out and support them. And please, thank you very much. There should be a tablet that's going to be floating around, because we want to keep attendance. We want to make sure that there are people here There we go. It's in the back room. Dion has the tablet, and just make sure that gets passed around. We do not share that information with anyone. It stays here, so you don't have to worry about your information getting out and getting spammed. Like I just bought a car recently, and I get 5 phone calls every day about a doggone warranty. Really? So we don't do that. You don't have to worry about that with us. But please sign in. We really appreciate it. And please follow us. Incubizo, who is our sponsor here. If you are a small business owner and you're working in your basement or you're in the garage, or your spouse or maid says you need to get out of the house, this is the best place to come for an office. If you need a conference room, if you just want to hang out with cool people, this is the place to be. Talk to Carmen about getting space here. And if you want to learn more about what Incubizo does, talk to Carmen or talk to Josh. He's a guy with a cool beard. All right, let me get out of the way. Green Info, Urban Style. He's our coffee sponsor today. He runs a podcast, and you should listen to it because going green is very, very key. So I'll shut up.
Good morning, Detroit Metro 1 million coffee cups. My name is Robert Parkdale. I'm the host and executive producer of Green Info Urban Style. Our mission is very simple but very powerful. Our goal is to bridge the gap between the urban and rural community with anyone in the green sector. So that entails, as you see, one of our guests, our first guests, they were urban farmers from Lansing. And it's really an interesting story because this couple, I watched the young man grow up from a child. So I know his network or his work in life, and I really was very proud of him because he came in, sat down, we had an excellent conversation. Now, I just want to say that our script, we have no script. It's all just basic conversation. We talk about things that impact the community, how we can move forward as a group of people, as this community is in here. Our goal is to make sure that everyone understands what's going on out in the world in terms of green. I am not the green guy, right? I know enough to be dangerous. But I want to learn, and I want to bring other people with us. So we've had a litany of content that we've expressed out. We've talked to, as I mentioned, the Urban Garden group. We've had some financial people who are green. Short story. This past winter, our furnace had cognitive ability. It decided it didn't want to work in the middle of the winter, which was really kind of bad since it was like 20 degrees outside. One of the things that we had an opportunity, one of the guests was someone from Michigan Saves. Great program. What did I do? I called them up and said, hey, I got a furnace that just went out. I need to get some funding. They have a low interest rate that you can get funding, and if you get approved, you would get to an approved contractor, and they'll come out to your house and put in whatever you need in terms of greening. So I called them up, actually went online, applied for the loan, got the loan approved. The next day, the contractor was at the house putting the furnace in, was boiler. We had heat by that Saturday afternoon. So that's an example of what Green Info has put out for the community. One of the things that I'm really proud of is that all the content, all the people that come on, they're mission experts. So they brought personal information that I found very valuable, that I'm sure other people can find valuable as well. So these are some of the guests that we've had on the show. The first 10 guests, actually. And some of them are actually in the audience. Sarah McCall from FDN. Ova's here. Ian, where are you at, Ian? There you go. So we've had several people right here in this audience. And it's a movement, right? Because again, I'm not that green guy, but I want to learn and I want other people to come along with us. So as you see, there are individuals in the audience who have the shirts on, their friends, volunteers, past guests. So our goal, again, is to make sure that everyone understands that we personally need to do something to help the community. Another example, there was a grant that was given to a family, and I'm very happy that they got the grant. They were, they had an opportunity to get their house going into carbon neutral. They actually were able to put this family up at the Townsend for a year while their house was retrofitted. Right? This grant was at Focus Hope. No one from the city took advantage of it. But again, that's information that we don't know. And that's the whole thing behind doing Info Urban Style. We're there to bridge the gap, to help people understand what's out there. So, if you're interested in volunteering, there's a QR code. If you want to sponsor, that'd be great as well. The other QR code is our website. There's all our contact information. So, thank you.
Before you walk off, I just want to say, green initiatives are really a challenge for our urban communities because they're not the most informed. Yes.
Can you put the slide back?
Sure. Yes.
Slide back with their information.
Thank you. It is a challenge for those who live in underprivileged communities to be able to take advantage of programs. So if you know someone who is looking to go green but don't know where to go, please reach out to Robert and connect because he has connections all across that space and he can certainly help.
One thing that we want to mention, if you have a story that you'd like to share with other people, you can go onto our website and actually type it in and do go across the digital realm.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Really appreciate it. All right. We good? All right, let's bring up our presenter this morning. His name is Kirk Welsh, and he has a company called HouseWarming. And he has some unique challenges to his business. During our conversations, I'm very, very impressed with this young man. And I think he has a bright future ahead of him, so we want to make sure we support him. Please come up, Kirk.
How is everyone doing?
Yeah.
All right, somebody needs front back. Do I have like a pointer?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so a bunch of beautiful faces in this room. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm looking forward to presenting my business to you guys and just receiving anything you have, all love, all feedback, just pour into me. So looking forward to it. So this is entitled Repositioning of Housewarming, and I am Kirk. All right, so I think it's important to start with my story so you guys understand exactly who I am. So I am Kirk Welsh. I am a part of the 2% licensed architects or black architects in the U.S. So I've been practicing in the profession over a decade and a half. And the profession has been really good. It's been full of ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and I've gotten a lot of great moments out of the industry. And one in particular was rather recently, I've had an opportunity to work for Detroit Public Schools on a project, a $40 million project in Southwest Detroit, which was a pre-K through 8 school. It's being worked on now and it'll be complete in 2027. But I feel like that project was really purposeful for me because I am a product of Detroit Public Schools. All the way from elementary to high school, I went through Detroit Public Schools. So to be able to be an advocate for the students, to be able to give my perspective coming from that sort of environment and neighborhood was extremely important. It was a full circle moment for me. So just being a part of the industry for a decade and a half, I've had many of those experiences of full circle moments. But I can honestly say, over the last decade and a half of being in the industry, I wasn't fully fulfilled. And that is because I've always felt like it was a bigger purpose for me. True fulfillment for me has always been a passion for entrepreneurship, a passion for building businesses and the power of investing. And when I say investing, I mean investing in self, first and foremost, and also investing externally. So whether that be sort of assets like real estate or Bitcoin or stocks and bonds, things of the sort, to actually put into a legacy. So I have a son that's 1.5 years. So I started to think about life totally different when he got here. And I just felt like being in the industry and being in architecture just did not, I reached the ceiling, and now I'm going into this next phase of life where I can do bigger and better things and create a legacy for myself. So my entrepreneurship journey started back in 2021, where I was working full-time as an architect, but I started to build a real estate investing business. And from my experience in building that real estate investing business is when it really sparked the idea of HouseWarming. So I'll read this first part verbatim. So in the real estate investment world, I witnessed firsthand the challenges that realtors face juggling multiple listings while coordinating renovation projects. This observation sparked our founding vision to create a specialized service that would free these professionals to focus on what they do best, and that is selling homes. So when I started my real estate investing business, I really locked in with this realtor. We did a bunch of successful transactions together. But what I noticed was outside of our transactions, she was always on the phone, running here and there. She was always busy doing multiple things. And what I realized is realtors are extremely, extremely important professionals, and they wear a lot of hats. One instance, they're therapists, they're talking to buyers and sellers, trying to talk them through a process, trying to get them to emotionally detach from a property or project. They become project managers, they become negotiators and all these other things. So I started to think to myself, how can I start to bring what the value that I bring to my realtor when we do these real estate transactions to her in other projects that she does? So I started to think about HouseWarming and started to say to myself, I can take off the project management aspect of the job for her, because I'm an architect. I understand that entire part of the industry, and also I understand how to manage projects, and I have an interest in real estate. So that is what really sparked HouseWarming, playing with HouseWarming. We officially opened our doors in January of 2025 this year. And 3 weeks ago is when I decided to leave the profession and go in full time and focus on betting on myself and building the legacy that I know I'm meant to build. So that's why I need you guys to help me out here. So our brand, so talk about our brand in terms of HouseWarming. We know that finding reliable contractors is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So we're here to solve that problem of project management without the headache. So in terms of HouseWarming, we are really big into reliability, really big into professionalism. We're a sort of concierge service for the construction industry. And I have this part highlighted right here, handling all flooring needs, everything from fresh vinyl plank to carpeting, which I'll get into in a later slide to understand how we got there. But we really are big on communication and keeping you informed every step of the way. Because what we heard from the market initially is contractors are not reliable, contractors don't show up, contractors take my deposit and run off, contractors this and that, and they're not professional and they don't communicate. So I try to bring all of those things into the actual industry and HouseWarming and try to separate myself as that being our value proposition. All of those things outside of actual lowest price. And last but not least, we're really big on building long-term relationships. So a lot of times projects are really one-off, but we like to really, really get in and build long-lasting relationships to be a resource for our clients over a long, extended period of time and not just one-off projects. Our services, pretty simple. We're a flooring company. We do vinyl plank and carpet at this moment in time. Our biggest challenge. So, our biggest challenge at this moment is generating consistent quality leads that understand our true value. Because our current, I don't know why the format is messed up, but our current leads, they are really focused on cheapest price as opposed to the greatest value that we can bring, which is reliability, speed, communication, all of those things that we heard from the market, which was a problem. We prioritize quality service, reliability, and communication over cheap price. And for obvious reasons of not generating quality leads, it is affecting our sales at this moment in time. When we first started doing the branding exercise for the company, what we did not want to do was be seen as a handyman service. Because handyman service is quick, cheap, all of those things, and that's not what we do. That's not the value that we bring. So, what I tried. When I first started out, it was last year when we first started out experimenting. We had all 6 of these different services. And who knows here that it's really difficult to run one business. When I started to look at the services that we offered, I was running 6 different businesses. I had to manage painters, I had to manage flooring guys, I had to manage cleaners and things of the sort, and it was just getting so chaotic to the point I was like, okay, I need to take a step back and understand what I'm actually doing here. I know we're providing a great service, but we cannot be everything you need to make a house feel like new. First and foremost, we need to focus on what is really, really important and what is bringing the most quality and value. So from there, it's important to mention, I realized that people were looking at us as a handyman service because handyman do all of these different things for cheap. So I started to think about our actual messaging. So I decided that we're going to focus on flooring and carpeting. We decided to focus on that, one, because I looked at our profit margins and I understood that flooring and carpeting was the most profitable service for us. And 2, I started to look at our actual operations. Our operations was much more clean and streamlined, focusing on flooring. So we decided to do that. So the things that we tried was focusing on one service, which is flooring, better explanation of our services. So when we were offering 6 different services, it would be a lot of scope creep. People would come to us asking us to do roofs and things of the sort, and I'm like, we just don't get into that. So I started to explain our services better, and then started to qualify customers up front. So during that first conversation, if you're saying you need a house built, I would say we don't do that. So started to qualify our customers up front. So what did that do? What that did was, and there was supposed to be a piece down here at the bottom too, but what that did was, from January to March, we were running all 6 of those services, and I mean, business was really booming. We get 86 leads over that time. Our conversion rate was 50%. Like, we were really booming at that time, and I was just selling, and fulfilling. And when I decided to really just focus on flooring, our quotes, our conversion rate had decreased, I think it's cut off, but I think it decreased by 17%. And then our leads actually decreased by 88%. But I understand that since we were not offering so many different services, I knew that our leads would actually go down. So that's why I'm here to really get an understanding of how to actually position us to basically get more qualified leads. But although our leads decreased and our conversion rate decreased, our process and our clarity in the process and operations increased, and our overall profit margin had increased by 23%, just focus on this one service. So I started to realize, okay, this is where we can actually zone in, and I can give all of the effort to it. So the question is, how can I more effectively position our flooring company to attract clients who value reliability, quality, and speed over the lowest price? So I am open to all feedback, all experience, anything you have. Thank you. So I'm not sure how this goes, but I just hear it.
How do we get in touch with you?
You have
So
a
next
contact?
slide.
Yeah.
took that leap to entrepreneurship is amazing. It says a lot of good things about you, that you want to build generational wealth, which is really, the focus of our program is to help folks like you. So if you have suggestions, you can line up over here where this beautiful lady is, and we'll give you the mic. And the whole idea is keep it as brief as possible so we can get as many comments as possible. You have time afterwards if you want to go in depth. So we'll start now.
One question.
Yes.
Is this recorded or?
Yes, we are
Okay.
recording live on Ustream as well as Zoom.
This cord is short.
Come on up. Get close.
Hello, Kirk. Congratulations on taking the lead and starting your own brand, your own company. Well, my name is Lee Scott. I am the founder and CEO of SEO. And this is what I help people do, get more easy from customer responsibility and such like that. So what I would recommend to you for your flooring company is, first thing, you gotta get to some home shows. If there's home shows on the eastern side of the state and that are very, like at the Novi Showplace Center, I would definitely look into those. I would look into joining the Home Builders Association and really like network more and get out there, because the people that come to those events are people with budgets who are looking for specific things. And those shows are super convenient because they have everything a homeowner or cottage owner would want in one place. And so when you talk to someone, that's like a really hot lead. The second thing I would recommend is get your digital assets optimized, like invest in content, blog, share your expertise. Like this is the thing, like you really need to share your story about being an architect, and that's gonna, like a lot of people can say, you know what, I want this company to help me, make my home amazing. Because there's a lot of contractors out here that are just, it's like, who do you trust? And so if you can show like before and afters on your website, create content, get video testimonials, that social proof, just gather those digital assets, repurpose them for both your Instagram, your YouTube, TikTok, all that. And I'll yield the floor to the next person.
Good, congratulations. You actually reminded me that when I started my business, I was working. My name is Sri from Unique Solutions, and I work well.com. My question to you is here, you have so many services that are still listed on your website, although you claim that you're only flooring company.
This is working, but
Yep, let's talk about it.
that's great. I thank you for bringing that up. So I had a conversation with our web developers yesterday. So we're in the process of taking on all the services. That'll be updated next week. So this is like a rather recent thing that I wanted to talk to you about, make sure I'm on the right path.
Okay.
But that's definitely been updated on that.
Yes, because you're giving your talk to so many people, and I'm sure half of these people already gone on the website and checked it out, which is contradictory to what you're describing here. And you have to look at that market as such. Second thing, my recommendation here is to identify the builders and contractors. Why I mention that is for consumer market, if you go after consumer market, if that's what you want to choose, that's okay. But the consumer market doesn't give high priority to reliability. The consumer market gives a high priority to the price. Unless you are going into high-end home market, which is Bloomfield and Rochester Hills, those areas, that's a different story. But if you are within this Detroit area or any other areas that are not high-end markets, then contractors is the best way to go. So it depends on what market you are choosing, your strategy changes. So I think at this point, it is beneficial for you to decide which market you are choosing. So those are the two topics I want to suggest with you. And actually, social media, marketing, they're all in there. But the third, last but not least, is that you are nimble and small. Get your systems in place. behave in a way that you already have a dozen employees or 100 employees. Why? You start off with that, then you grow with that. If you don't do it, then you have a chaos in the lab. So if you need any advice on that, by all means let me know. We can take offline. But start off having automation. Start with stretching your dollar by implementing technology in business. We should be lucky.
Great presentation. I really enjoyed the idea. It seemed like you've been through a couple of thought processes and iterations so far. So congratulations. I'm just going to pick it back on some of the 1, 2, 3 you just heard. I think getting into understanding when the decision is made about flow. Right? So going upstream, right? Getting into project managers, getting in the bidding process. But more importantly, I think you should also look at how we want to make up commercial bids. All right? That's a whole another avenue that I will probably appreciate some of the things that you actually bring to the table for us to value. And then next, the brand. You spoke to your brand, now just lift it. So you should, your first slide, we talked about you, get that out there, right? So you're already established, you've already been successful, and I think everybody on the way for the next activity, right? And go.
Okay. Sorry about that, Mike. I don't know why. I was trying to find it. It doesn't matter. Because you've tried to do all of the services, and because of your background, because you know that you're not going to do all of the things, you are the resource, you know a guy, right? So, and I don't know if this is what you want to do, but when you do a walkthrough and somebody's like, I need a roofer and I need a whatever, another way to position yourself, instead of completely losing that contract, you still can be that referral and get a cut for those referrals in those ways. So I think that you can still position yourself in that way. Just be like, you still have that Rolodex of contractors, so keep those contractors close, keep that positioning, like, keep that positioning in that way so that you're keeping that relationship and you're like, all right, I'm not that guy, but here's this person, get that referral fee, keep those dollars, and do it that way. Because that's a whole nother like stream of income without you doing a down thing, you know what I mean? So do that. Just be like, I know a guy, 10%.
First of all, get out of my head. I would add on to that. I think congratulations, Sarah, from SBN Detroit. It's kind of actually what I do, what you're talking about. What I would say about what you have going on is it's congested, right? And to your point, you don't need to abandon all of those things, but maybe bucket them a little bit differently. So, and I would do that in a way of saying, this is an actual service I provide, and then these are the referrals, and then you make the case for why to use you versus Angie or whatever, because you have those relationships and people are much more comfortable seeing you face to face and knowing that that's real and tangible versus something out in, you know, the universe of the web and not really knowing that person or having a relationship. There's a trust there, that a social contract kind of a thing that you're creating. So I would say that. The other thing I would say is get on the City of Detroit's vendor list, or any of the cities in which you want to operate, because then by you becoming a preferred vendor, the city will also call you for things if someone's calling them and they don't know where to place them, but also you could get potential city contracts for more large investments and developments as well. So I would say don't abandon it, just maybe restructure and organize it a little bit to the point of make that passive income from the referral, but specialize in the fact that this is why they should come to you instead of something generic. And then I do also offer these services, but clean up a little bit. Like, it is a little bit congested, like I said, as far as all of the things that you're listing, and not, because then we're not focusing on what you do and what you can provide. And I think that's where you really need to kind of like fine tune it.
say you want to effectively position your flooring company, the first thing you need to do is position it as a flooring company. Your logo and your site, they all scream quality. I looked at it. It definitely feels like quality. But housewarming feels like all these services that you used to do. I'm not suggesting you change the name, but you need to have some kind of qualifier, either a theme line or just say it's flooring company. But you need to do something so people know right away that that is what you are. You're a flooring company. So to position it for the people, you need to position it as who you are. So that would be my advice.
Great job. Congratulations again. I'm Tanisha Molden. I'm an attorney in intellectual property and brand strategy, actually. And one thing that came to mind is new floor smell. Like everybody wants that new floor smell. Like literally, I was thinking about people like marketing, people fall into the floor, smelling this new floor you just put in. But I also think that when you're creating your brand, one of the things about business is understanding your client journey or the customer journey. I was a little confused about who was your customer, who was your ideal client. You talked about realtors first, which is fine. But if that is the journey, and those are the people that are bringing clients to you, understanding how can you get them what they need, and that's where the value is. So, for example, with a realtor, what do they want to do? They want to sell this house as quickly as possible. How can I can get this floor? So, but putting that into dollars. So on average, how much do they generate in revenue because they got this floor in faster? How quickly can the homeowner get into their new dream home because you got that floor in faster? So just putting the dollar sign to that and giving people, making them understand they get what they want because they got this new floor smell going on. So I just wanted to share that. Great job, though.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm a media strategist, but I grew up in a house with a contractor as a daddy. My grandfather was also a contractor. My cousin is a contractor. My uncle's a contractor. They all go to Messiah Baptist Church. Every 3 months, it's 6 contractors, if they're peers, they get together and they mentor young men that are starting contracting. They walk them through the city procurement process. I graduated from Spelman College. My college graduation was completely paid for by my dad's business. He owned a construction company. I grew up in a construction company. My advice is to get mentored by Black contractors. They do get together every 3 months and mentor. Their complete thing is to get contracted with the city of Detroit. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars when I worked with my dad. It was all in city work. We worked with nonprofits. The nonprofits worked with the homeowners. We didn't. We got the jobs through the city of Detroit. It's just one stream of income. So I would suggest that you not only go to that, I'll give you information about Messiah Baptist Church, but get mentored by Black contractors.
I'm Joel Cobley from Aventura Business Consulting and International Strategic Management. I just have one point for you regarding partnerships. Make sure that since you are new and you're really starting to drive partnerships, make sure you're driving the partnerships really well and you're concentrating on it. Because if you let the partnerships drive you, anything can happen.
Hi, I'm Donnie. I'm a social media presence. I'm an influencer, content creator. So what is your social media presence like?
So I wasn't on social media before. Probably about a year and a half ago, I was totally in social media. I'm like, I just need to focus on me and do my thing. But as rather recently, probably the last year or so, I would say honestly 8 months or so, I've really been on social media, trying to show HouseWarming as a company, but show who I am as a person, because people buy from people they know, I can trust. So I started to bring my personal life and story to the scene in order to try to feed that into HouseWarming. So I would say I'm still working on it. I honestly, I'm totally into it because I understand that's what really drives me.
Okay, that's good. That's my biggest thing is really grow your social media presence, because the way I got stuff done at my house was through my realtor, who recommend to someone who's like, oh, hey, check this out. And people don't go to websites anymore. The first place to go to is Instagram or TikTok so they can see something. So depending on who you're targeting, I was like, really grow your social media presence. Because even realtors now, they're huge on social media. Like you find your realtor, they're doing fun stuff, selling houses and talking to people, talking to contractors, walking around with, it's just like really cool. So you know, realtors are growing their presence, you can grow your presence that way. Especially you're talking about reliability, quality, and speed. You can show that, like show the process, do a time lapse, anything like that.
Thanks everyone for your suggestions and your recommendations. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Give them a hand, please. A couple of quick questions for you before we move on to the next step. Is if there was one thing that you heard this morning that you could take away and immediately put into action, what would it be?
Ton of great things. I thank you guys so much, first and foremost, for all of the feedback and all of just everything. I would say to really, you said one thing?
One thing.
To do right away.
All right. So to do right away is to really focus on the narrative, the social media aspect, and growing that audience and that business. And two, to really just clean up our services and what we're marketing right now in terms of all of those different services. We still have 6 things listed on the website. Like I mentioned, it's getting cleaned up by next week, but that is really important to position ourselves as a flooring company so that people understand what we do, and then we can refer out all of the other things and still take advantage of that.
Great job. This famous about 1 million cups, but what would you tell someone who has never heard of 1 million cups? What would you say to them about the audience there?
Awesome experience. This is my 2nd or 3rd time coming out. I was online one time, but it wasn't the same experience of being in person. So I would say, yeah, be in person because there's a bunch of beautiful human beings here. Everyone is nice. Everyone comes to talk to you even beforehand. Everyone is having just regular conversation and just very eager to share resources and opportunities and just share love and great energy. So I would say 1 million cups is absolutely something that you should come to in person.
Thank you so much. And don't leave, because there'll be a lot of people who want to talk to you before we finish up today. Real quickly, just want to say thanks everyone for your suggestions. I thought they were very good. You were in my head, and who else was in my head? I think it was Shree. He had the same thoughts that I had about some things that he could do. And just always remember, just like you want to talk about that little 1-year-old in your house, talk about your business like that. Because that's your other baby. Real quickly, again, as I mentioned earlier, Oakland Thrive has really gotten behind the 1 Million Cups program here locally. We do a lot for small businesses here in Oakland County. In fact, there are a number of our B2B consultants in the room that really brings value to our program. If you are one of our B2B consultants, please raise your hand. Extremely. And if you're an Oakland County business, there is help available for your small business free of charge. There are tons of resources available for businesses no matter where you are. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You have a wonderful community here, very smart, talented, motivated people who want to see your business succeed, because when you succeed, our community succeeds. And we want to make Oakland County and Southeastern Michigan the place to start a business. So thank you. Another thing that we do here is we support those who support us. The chambers are big partners of ours. The Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber, the Southfield Chamber, and many other chambers. And we appreciate their support, so we support them. There are a lot of good things that are going on for small businesses to learn and to grow. For instance, Castleberry is doing a map and decode triggers that drive success. The truth is in the triggers. That is a workshop that's coming up next week, August 6th. Wow, it's like, man, where's the summer going? And Incubizo Incubizo has something coming up on the 7th. It's called Cafe. If you want to learn more, talk to Carmen. There she is. A panel of really, really smart people to talk about marketing and sales. Those are the two most important aspects of business, is marketing and sales. Right, there you go. You have to have sales, or your business is going to fail. So make sure you have a sales strategy. We're going to talk about some things that you can do from a marketing and sales perspective to increase your revenue flow. And then Incubizo. Okay, we can talk about cafe.
Hello, it's me. Okay, I'm gonna start. Truth isn't the trigger. Princess Casberry. People pay countless of money to hear that woman speak. She's a national, global speaker. Her last workshop here was after 1MC. It was full. That's an Eventbrite. It's free. It's here. After 1MC, it is at noon, so there's a little time gap, but come. It's very, very awesome. If you are a leader, if you're leading teams, if you are on a team, you need to come. So that's next Wednesday at noon. Last year, we did a cafe panel series, and we are bringing it back. This panel series is on copy. So if you are on social media, if you do social media, if you have a business, you have to write copy. Copy is the words on your website. Copy is your caption on an Instagram post, or if you're doing a press release. If you are wearing ChatGPT out, you need to come to this workshop. This is a panel. We've got Mike McClure, he's here. Darylyn Hudson, she over here. She be writing for like important fashion blogs and stuff. And then we got Jordana. She's done workshops with with every chamber actually, and Oakland Thrive. And then Valerie J, you know her, you love her. She will be the moderator. So, and there's food by Noodletopia. So it's $10. It's amazing. You have to come. And then the spin-off, because you're gonna love that, is a hands-on DIY. That's what that means. You didn't spell it wrong. Hands-on workshop with Mike, so that you will learn how to do copy for your own business. Because sometimes it's not in the budget, right? Everybody's like, I need marketing. No, you don't. You need a budget. So when you have to do it yourself, you have to go to the workshop. And that's free. Okay? Do we get it? Do we get the like series of things that you asked for, and now they're here, so then you gotta show up.
Thank you, Carmen. Let me talk about these two since you did such a great job. Let's have a sit down.
Linda, your turn. My turn? Yeah. The Chamber. Madison Heights New York Chamber is doing a bunch of really rad, cool things. You're there. Linda, you're up.
What is I didn't know I was on. Okay. All right, we have two events coming up. One's, I think, August 5th. That's next week, isn't it? Yeah, next week already. Yeah, Tuesday. So 4 times out of the year, we partner with our colleagues, our other fellow chamber members, Royal, Berkeley, Clausen. And Berkeley's hosting this one. It's a little confusing because they're hosting it in Royal. But it's the Royal Leprechauns versus Kalamazoo Grounders. Any baseball fans, it's a great way to network. Please come in. We still have, registration is still open, but I think it's going to close right around Monday. All right, so come and join us. And then I'm very excited for this one, the LinkedIn workshop. And then again, this is part of that whole, we received that grant from MEDC. This is part 2 of our series. We're going to have many, many, many more of these workshops. But David Benjamin, our very own David Benjamin, our Rockstar member, is going to be hosting this. He's also hosting another event called the Influencer 2.0. I don't know how to get whatever. Okay, the next big fundraiser that we got going on, instead of the golf outing, somebody want to compete with all the golf outings out there, we're shifting gear to do this family friendly, so bring your kids, bring your family members to our bowling fundraiser, I guess. And it's at Universal Links next week, or in 2 weeks. I scared myself. Thursday, August 14th. Come on and join us. They have 28 lanes there, so we're looking for for teams. We're good on sponsorship for the most part, so please come in and join us if you're a business. We do have opportunities to be a vendor, okay? And that's some of our big sponsors. So thank you for being on that. Is that it? All right.
Thank you so much. Again, we do support the community. If you are a small business and you have an event that's coming up and you'd like for us to talk about it, or if you're a nonprofit and you have an event coming up and you'd like for us to talk about it, the only caveat is you have to come and be here to talk about it. We're not going to throw your slide over here off at home somewhere. Oakland Thrive, we are a nonprofit, and so we need your support as well. We have our golf outing coming up on the 11th, which is Monday after next. This is our signature event for the year. If you are a golfer, if you love golf, if you hate golf, if you don't know what golf is, but you want to support us in our mission to help small businesses in Oakland County, we would love your support. There are sponsorship opportunities still available if you'd like. I see Kirk, he's got a lot of money, but maybe he'll help us. I see Gerard in the back, he's got a bunch of money, he might help us too. But every little bit helps. Also, we have a strategic think tank coming up very soon.
Excellent program.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's a graduate of one of our last strategic think tank. And I will be hosting this, but not doing the training. Lola Aure, who's a very, very smart and bright person, is the person that is going to be leading. She's the moderator. But I'll be there to host this event, and it's coming up. Application is online right now. Use the QR code. It is free. It's a $1,500 value, but it's free. So if you're interested in learning more about becoming bankable, what are the things you need to do before you sit down and talk to a banker? What types of documents do you need to have? How do you need to understand your business? What you need to do before you talk to a banker to increase your chances of getting that loan that you need. Come join this cohort. It's definitely worth it. Yes?
It's more than that, because she teaches you how to manage your finances in such a way that you can see if you don't even need a bank.
Love it.
She's outstanding.
Thank you for that testimonial. So if you have some time to do this, please do so. It's a 4-week, every 3 weeks, every Wednesday from 8:20 to 9:03. And it's in Pontiac at the Riker Building, which is our headquarters. Please come join us. This is definitely worth the investment of time. And there's the QR code if you'd like. Next week we will have some flyers with the QR codes. If you don't have time to take a picture of it today, we'll make sure that we do that going forward. And here's another cohort that is coming up called Fast Track. This is another Kaufman program. It is excellent. It is going to be taught by Melissa. She has an informational session coming up, which is what the QR code is. It's going to be in Ann Arbor. But yes, it's this afternoon. If you'd like to learn more about Fast Track and what it is, this is an amazing program. And if you're a small business owner, you don't have a business plan, you want to know what it takes to write a business plan and what's included, this is a really, really good program. But it's more than that. It also teaches you skills on how to manage and effectively run a business, how to understand finance and its implications on your business. So this is an informational session that's coming up today at 1 o'clock. So if you'd like to participate, it's free, the informational session. It's $497 for this class, but it's worth about $1,500. It's normally what it is. And Incubizo, if you'd like an office space, if you need some place to get out of the house and come and interact with people like mine, talk to Carmen. And we're done. Woohoo! Give yourself a hand. We do a group picture every week and we post that to our social media. If you'd like to take a look at the pictures that we take every week, QR code, this is Carmen's website. She has graciously donated her time and her talents to us each week. She is a professional photographer as well, so if you need a photographer, if you need a headshot, it's time for a family portrait, maybe you've got an event coming up or a family reunion and you need a professional photographer to look good, stop taking all those pictures with camera phones, get a real photographer. You'll be amazed at the difference in how they look. So, directions?
If you are on this side of this pole, go over there. If you're on this side of this pole, stay seated. If you're on that side of this pole, stand up.
And again, don't forget, follow us on social media. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram. One of these days we'll get on TikTok.